Hey, what is up, guys? Epic Pokemon TCG here. Please ignore my fan in the background. It is incredibly hot in here. Just ugh. Anyway, so today, guys, I wanted to start off with a new series where I basically do, I guess, story time or something like that. And I want your help with it. I already have a topic picked for this video, in case you can't tell by the title. Where I want you guys to give me topics like Pokemon TCG topics for me to tell a quick story about, or just a long-winded one, whichever one you want. And basically, I'm going to pick whichever comment I like the most, do a video on it, and then ask the same thing every video. So today, the topic is going to be my first tournament. Now, I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. Since I've had this channel, it's one of the first videos I had planned on doing, but I didn't really know how to, I didn't really know how to do it. Plus, also, if I did the video and I was telling about my friends that I met and I went with, you guys probably would not know who in the heck I was talking about. So I decided to wait a little bit. And so my first tournament was actually an Oklahoma State's tournament. And this was back whenever I think Platinum first came out. The Pokemon TCG set Platinum, I think that's just what it was called. And Platinum was a really awesome set because it introduced us to the SP engine, which is one of the most beloved, engines I think in Pokemon history. The SP engine was absolutely awesome. I think it was like one of the first times that we've ever seen a basic Pokemon that was an evolution, kind of like EXs now, but they were SP Pokemon. And I recently just got into the game, and I kind of have been working with some cards at the time. And I had a kind of a collection going, but nothing really that special. So the deck. So actually got asked. I was going to talk about the deck, but I'm going to talk about how I got into this situation. So I got asked by Boyd. You guys know who Boyd is. It's the guy who runs our league. And he said, "Hey Dylan, do you want to come with us to a tournament?" And I said, "Wow, really? Can I?" He said, "Yeah, sure, man." He said, "You're a nice kid," which I'm not, but he thinks I am. I said, "Yeah, man, I would love to have you to come with us." So I was like, "Sure, I'll go with you." Now, at the time, I only talked really to 2 people at League. I didn't really know anyone else. I just talked to Boyd and Andy. I actually met Andy. Andy is the one that got me really into Pokemon. So, Andy, I love you, man. I hope you're watching this video. But, so Andy was getting me all prepared. Andy actually hooked me up with a fossil card, which was the Ormaldo. I think it's from, I can't remember what set it's from. But I'm going to show you guys a picture of that card right now. Okay, so that Ormaldo was really sick. If they couldn't do enough damage to it, it had a body where I think it was like they couldn't do 50 or 60 to it. I cannot remember for the life of me. It didn't do anything, and it had a Crush Claw attack. It did damage, and the next turn it did more damage, which I was a really big fan of cards like that at the time. And I ran it with a Machamp from Diamond and Pearl. Not the takeout Machamp. I had no idea that even existed in this this format. I was still new to the game, and I had just a very, very linear idea of cards. I didn't know that much about all the new stuff and all this junk. So I think Machamp had Revenge, I think it was, or something like that. It had some attack. I can't remember for the life of me. But for some reason, I thought these two would really go good together. And I only had 1 rare candy, so I was running a 2-stage 2 deck with 1 rare candy, just to give you guys an idea of how new to the game I was. And so I get into Cardboard, met up with them at an EB holiday, I think, over in Sherman. And we went on to Oklahoma City or Norman. I can't remember exactly where the tournament was. It's basically Norman, Oklahoma City, or basically the same thing to me. Anyway, so I'm in the front seat with Boyd. Michael and Lonnie, who I had no idea who they were at the time, were behind me, and then Josh and a couple of his friends were in the very back. I only talked to Boyd. I was so nervous. I was absolutely terrified. I was actually terrified of the people behind me, because I was like, oh God, these guys must be really good at the game, and they're going to think I'm some noob, so I'm just going to stay away from them. I'm just going, Now, I did talk to Josh occasionally. Josh actually did kind of go out of his way to say hi to me and talk to me and stuff like that, try to make me feel a little more comfortable. But for the most part, they were just kind of sitting there talking the whole time. So on the way up there, Boyd is absolutely hazing me at this point. He's like, we'll just be driving. He's like, hope you're ready for this. I was like, what? He goes, you're going to see a lot of decks and a lot of players you've never seen today. I was like, oh, God. And he's just going on and on and on about this. And I'm sitting there and my stomach is just turning. My stomach is just turning. I've never done anything like this. I think the only actual premier tournament I was actually in was a pre-release. I don't really count that. Pre-releases, to me, don't count. So, I was incredibly nervous about it. And so we get to Oklahoma City, and we walk inside, and I see this flood of people. I mean, there's people everywhere. People over here, people over here, people over here, people everywhere. I was like, oh my God. I was like, are you serious? And so then I just start looking at my deck, and the boy's like, oh, you need to do a deck sheet. I'm like, a deck what? And he's like, oh yeah, we forgot to tell you about that. And I was like, oh, great. Like, I've been here 5 minutes and I'm already messing up. So they take me over and they show me how to do a deck, or I think Boyd showed me how to do a deck list. So I did my deck list and I went and stood in line, forgot my pop ID, so I had to get another pop ID, which means that when I went home I would have to merge the two together, you know, to fusion crap. And I was just like, are you kidding me? Like, this day was going so bad. And here we go, round 1 pairings. I'm like, okay, you're here to have fun. You're here to have fun. Which I did. Spoiler alert, I had incredibly huge amounts of fun. So, I go and I sit down, and I was playing this guy I've never seen in my life. So I sit down across from him, and he's like, hey, how you doing? I was like, oh, I'm good. He goes, okay, cool, man. He goes, I think his name was Billy. I think I can't remember. Not Billy from the videos. I think his name is Billy. So he reaches across and we shake hands, start talking. He goes, how long you been playing? I was like, a couple months. This is my first tournament. He goes, oh, okay. And I'm pretty sure at that point he's like, oh yeah, I got this. He flips over a claw fossil. I know it was a claw. He flips over one of the fossil trainers. Alright. In case you guys don't know this, the fossil engine used to be completely different. You used to have little trainer cards that had HP on them. You could play them down as basics. And that was basically your basic Pokemon. And so I'm like, okay. I was like, I've seen this card. Andy used fossils just out the yin yang. So I was like, okay, I know what this is. Then he plays down a Machop. I was like, huh. I was like, maybe he's playing a fossil deck with the same kind of a champ I am. Oh, I was wrong. Oh God, I was wrong. Back then you can attack on your first turn. So he goes, Fighting Energy to Machop, plays a switch, Rare Candies into Takeout Machamp from Stormfront, in case you guys don't know what that does. One energy, one Fighting Energy, does 40, but if the defending Pokemon isn't an evolved Pokemon, it's knocked out. That's it. Knocked out. No questions asked, nothing, just boom, you take a prize. You just get a prize. That's it. So, I was like, what? I thought he was lying. I thought he was cheating. I was like, can I see that? So I pick up the card, I'm looking at it. I'm like, huh? It's like, this card's OP. This is the best thing in the world. So then it gets worse. So my turn comes in, and at the time, guys, we had this new stadium, this completely new stadium. It's called Broken Time Space. It's one of the best cards I've ever seen. It basically had the Caterpie and Metapod abilities, but it was a stadium. So I play my Broken Time Space. I evolve. I can't remember what I evolved into. So I was like, okay. I attached. I did like 20 damage. I was like, okay. So I said pass. He goes, okay. So he plays down another switch, and then he plays down. I think he played some old supporter, and he rare candies into the Rampardos from Platinum. Okay. Now this thing might as well been Machamp. For one Fighting Energy, it did 80 damage. 80 freaking damage. Back then, that was a lot. That was insane. So he knocks out my stage 1. And I was like, okay, so skipping past all that. So I start playing my stuff down, and he just absolutely train wrecks me. So I take that loss. I'm not going to give you guys an entire um, tournament review. I'm just gonna give you guys kind of like the outline of it. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands right now, but I walk outside and boy's like, "How'd you do?" And I was like, I have no idea what he did half the time. He goes, "Don't worry, you'll get it." So, and I think skipping a couple rounds, I think it was round 3 or 4, I met Jarvis for the first ever time. He played the same Machamp, and Jarvis was a nice guy. Like, he was like, he had no idea who I was. I had no idea who he was. We started talking. We hit it off immediately. We were friends like that. And I was like, "Man, that card is so good." And I was like, "I just started and I don't have jack crap, but I really want that card." He's like, "Oh man, hey, I got some extras if you want them." I was like, "What?" He's like, yeah. So he gets done beating the crap out of me. We go out to the waiting area, like the lobby, I guess. I don't know what you're saying. But he goes through my stuff. He's like, "Okay, you got a lot of trainers I'm actually needing." He goes, "I'm going to hook you up with some supporters. I'm going to hook you up with all kinds of stuff." So he hooks me up with Roseanne's Research. He hooks me up with a couple more rare candy, and then he hooks me up with just Machamp stuff out the god. Then he hooks me up with like a couple of Hippowdon. At the time, I really liked Hippowdon because that was a card Boyd played, and I really liked it. And then he hooked me up with Machamp level X, and just all this stuff. And then like after that, we kind of hung out for the rest of the tournament. And excuse me, but ear was itching. But so I ended up going like 2 and 5, 2 and 7 or something like that. Here's the funny thing. Armaldo was the only card I used that did anything. I think if I would have done better if I just focused on an Armaldo deck rather than the Machamp stuff I used. But anyway, so I beat 2 grass decks, which amazed me because Armaldo was weak to grass and I still beat him. Anywho, skipping that. Josh ended up making top cut. Well, Boyd, Michael, and Lonnie were sitting there, and Boyd waved me over and he said, "So did you have fun?" I was like, "Yeah, man, I had a lot of fun." So I sit down, and then like Michael talks to me a little bit, and then Lonnie talked to me a little bit, and I was still really nervous. And Michael was like, "Hey, we're gonna go get something to eat. You want to come with us?" And I was, "Sure." So I got up, and we walked across the street to Walmart that had McDonald's in it. And we talked on the way up there. We sat down at McDonald's and talked. Then we walked around Walmart. I think Lonnie bought a mouse or something. And we kind of became friends there. Went back, and Michael and Lonnie helped me build a new deck. Gave me another rare candy, because I think I had 4 by the time I walked out of there. And I still have that rare candy. I refuse to trade it. It's a rare candy with a little bitty pen scribble across the front of it. And that's one of the cards I cherish the most, because that was the night that I feel like Lonnie and Michael became a couple of my best friends, and still friends to this day, which I'm really happy about. Met Jarvis in that tournament. Let's see, what else? So we built a Machamp Hippowdon deck. So I had to take out Machamp's now, which I'm really happy about. Josh made top cut, and then like the rest of the trip up there, Lonnie was like, "I want to go home. I'm so tired." Josh come back, "I won. Oh, I want to go home." It was so hilarious, and we ended up going home. And then the next week at League, I showed up. Michael and Lonnie were there. We started hanging out, and it was just the rest was history. You know, now we're here, and that was absolutely great. You know, that one of the best tournaments I've ever been to, just because of the people I met, the fun I had, and everything. It was just so awesome. Looking back and thinking about how bad that deck was, the fact I won games with it, and it was just great, man. It was really great. And yeah, that's basically what happened, man. That's pretty much it on the story. But I have no idea how long this video is running, because the way I see the time is on the back of the keyboard. Phone went off. It's on vibrate. I thought ahead. Anyway, so Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I would really appreciate it if a couple of you would leave suggestions down below. Point my belly. I appreciate if you guys left suggestions down below for maybe some stories I could tell you guys later in the future, or maybe I'll make this a weekly series, or I'll make this like a bi-weekly series. I don't know yet. If you guys don't know what bi-weekly means, that means every 2 weeks, I think. I don't know if I screwed that up. But yeah, it was awesome thinking about this trip down memory lane. I was actually in the shower thinking about this whole trip, which is severely weird. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. Give me suggestions, man, and share this video, like, comment, all that good stuff. Check out the other stuff on my video, or my channel, on my... Yeah, I got this whole video. Did not really screw up once, but that time I did. I love you all. I'm going to continue sweating my head off. Almost said something else. Yeah, you guys take care, and you guys know the drill. This is Epic Pokemon TCG, signing out.
It's all I wanna do.